Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. This is a special edition for you. I have, I guess, probably 3 special editions this morning, and then I'll have 3 regular current events editions for you as well. So stick around because it's going to be a busy morning here. This one is off of Natural News, and there is one URL in the description of the video if you would care to take a look at it. And this is what it says. Independent journalists to be forcibly microchipped by government after being labeled with a mental disorder and propaganda. It seems too far-fetched to be true, especially in the land of the free, where the Constitution supposedly recognizes and enshrines certain unalienable rights or human rights, like individual choice and privacy. But it's true nonetheless. In the United States, we have all come one step closer to being microchipped by mandate. As reported by True Activists about 6 years ago, NBC Nightly News made a bold prediction that by 2017, all Americans would be fitted with a radio frequency identifier, or RFID chip, so that all of us could be tracked by the government in real time, except for the elites doing the tracking, of course. That prediction doesn't appear to have come true, and with Hillary Clinton soundly defeated November the 8th, it doesn't look like it'll happen anytime soon. But what if it did? What if somehow some of us began to be chipped, sold to us in a way to enhance public safety, which is always the excuse government uses to take away our rights and freedoms? Don't look now, but it just happened. The government will decide who is mentally unfit and must be tracked. As noted by the Daily Caller in recent days, the U.S. House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed a bill that would require the U.S. Attorney General to provide grants to local law enforcement agencies so they can create, establish, and operate locative tracking technology programs. In other words, the legislation known as Kevin and Avante's law makes it legal for police to track certain U.S. citizens despite the fact that their privacy is guaranteed by the Constitution's Fourth Amendment. The program, which many have likened to the opening of a Pandora's box of wider tracking in the future, gives local police the authority to use technology to locate individuals with forms of dementia, such as Alzheimer's disease, or children with developmental disabilities, such as autism, who have wandered from safe environments. Advocates of the legislation, including Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat of Texas, Chris Smith, Republican of New Jersey, say the measure can help police intervene to avert tragedies through the use of location technology before the mentally disabled wander into trouble. But opponents, like Representative Louis Gohmert, Republican of Texas, see it as a way for government to broadly interpret how it uses the technology. While this initiative may have noble intentions, small and temporary programs in the name of safety and security often evolve into permanent and enlarged bureaucracies that infringe on American people's freedom. He said, that is exactly what we have here. A safety problem exists for people with Alzheimer's, autism, and other mental health issues, so the fix, as we are told, is to have the Department of Justice start tracking the program so we can use some device or method to track these individuals 24/7. Later, Gohmert said the bill's sponsors implore lawmakers and the American people not to worry because it has a language saying any tracking device cannot be invasive and is totally voluntary. What's to stop some future authoritarian from widening a tracking program? But he added that he was confused as to why Republican majorities in both chambers of Congress, the party historically at odds with big government and the massive federal bureaucracy, would be taken in and fooled into approving yet another massive invasive government program. He was also astounded that the GOP-controlled Congress would allow the tracking of people with developmental disabilities, a term that could have very broad applications, but not approve any tracking of illegal aliens, criminals, and other malcontents. Therein lies the rub. Who gets to define the mentally incapacitated? And is that description only limited to persons who have been medically, clinically diagnosed with a mental problem? Because in recent past, left-wing activists, politicians, and academics have accused alternative media types of being mentally deranged and propagandists. Should alternative media journalists be tracked for the public's safety? It's not that far-fetched anymore to think that could happen someday, especially when a program establishing official tracking of certain persons has already been implemented. And the sources for this article came from trueactivist.com, dailycaller.com, and another day in theempire.com. I thought it was important to bring it up because even though it hasn't been implemented yet, look at how we were sold a bill of goods with the Patriot Act, because it was all for safety. You know, we're the government, we're here to help you. And all of a sudden you're being accosted at the airport, felt up and stripped down and Lord only knows what, just trying to board an airplane. And the do not fly list, which seems to apply to just about anybody except a terrorist. So it's something that we need to keep a very, very, very close eye on. They overstep their bounds in so many different ways. Look at our peaceful protesters that are in jail, are patriots, because the government overstepped their bounds, and now they're holding our people without even giving them bail. They've been in there almost a year, lacks 2 weeks now, being a year of them being in jail. So I don't know that it's that far-fetched. Something to think about. If you like what we're doing here, give it a thumbs up, share it around on social media so everybody gets to hear the news. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell and check the box there next to the subscribe button so that you get the email messages every time I put out a show, and that way you stay informed. See you in the next one.